Welcome back to another daily recap. Today is Monday, July 29, 2024. I'm Sam Morton. The time is currently 8:06 a.m. Eastern. The levels in the SPY that you see on this chart will be used to enter trades in the E-mini futures today. If price in the SPY hits a level here, a trade will be triggered in the E-mini futures. As a reminder, this level at 545.65, which is the magenta dotted line, is not a tradable level for today. It's simply a reference point I'm keeping on the chart until the end of the month. I'm curious to see if they'll defend this area as we get near the end of the month of July. Where they close on Wednesday this week, which is the last trading day of the month of July, will be important. Whatever happens today, we'll come back to this chart after the closing bell to examine the price action during the open session and talk about any trades that may have been triggered. We'll catch you on the other side. It's 6 o'clock now. Market's closed, and interesting day. Didn't get any trades. I'll explain why. It's because there were some close calls. So after 9:45, first of all, ignore the magenta line that's just there. It's the close, the open of the month of July. On the July candle, we can maybe look at that after I finish everything. And I figured they would kind of want to defend this toward the end of the month, and they've been hanging around it. But the point is, the blue lines are the levels. So two of them were hit. And so 546.55 was the operating level for that one because they were coming up into it after 9:45 a.m. And the next level here down at 544.35, I'll go ahead and adjust it to 544.40 to talk about it in a minute. So when they got up here, it's not the minute after 9:45, 9:46 candle. This is a near miss. They got up within a certain distance that I want to see, and they pulled away for more than a base hit, and I wasn't willing to take that trade. It worked eventually, but it doesn't always work, so I don't take it the second time around. If they got above this, I would buy for support, but overhead resistance that already had passed. Same thing happened down here. They come all the way down here, come within 10 cents, and that's my threshold, and they bounce. That to me was a trade. Then look what they did. They went right up to I think to the penny of this the 545.65, and they kind of hung around a little bit, but that wasn't a tradable level. I mean, it worked, but I think it's going to become more into play by Wednesday. We have 2 more days. We can talk about that. So I actually recorded. I'll just show you the recording and show you what I didn't do. Actually, there was a trade I took, but it was by accident. I could probably explain it. When I put a trigger in, I think it was down here, I wanted to buy if the spiders were less than or equal to 544.40, and I ended up putting greater than or equal. So as soon as I hit the market order, it filled me, and then they were kind of going up at this point. So I actually pulled like a point or so out, but let's look at that right now. So here is the recording of the trade, or of the would-be trades, 9:35 in the morning and counting. I'll start playing this. So you'll see me put orders in. I'll scrub ahead here when they got up to 546.60, or 55 is the operating level, and then came away near miss. So I made that dotted just to give me the indication or the clue not to take that again. That's my the way of keeping track of things. And they got above it, came down, so that would have worked, but not the way I like to trade them. And then here at 544.40, another near miss. You can see the profit objective, the green line, the red line is the fumble threshold. Close call here. That's what I call a near miss. So that was the trade. So didn't take it, and unfortunately it still worked, or would have worked if you'd been in it. So down here at 542.33, I think it was right before 11:20. So I'm going to stop playing this. Here we go. I'm back up. So it's like around 11:19 or so. I'm going to pause this when you see me put the order in, so you can see what I did here. Happens pretty fast. So right here. So I started putting this order in. Basically, I want to say if SPY is, I want to say less than or equal to 542.33, then buy at the market, 2 contracts. Well, I keyed this in, and then very quickly saw that I was in a trade, and you'll see the green, long position in a minute. It kind of flashes through, boom, right there. You saw that 158, and then being $125. That's what I netted on that little thing before I close it out. So I just kind of lucked out that they happened to be bouncing at that point when I entered the trigger activation incorrectly. But still, the order is in the system to go long down here at 542.33. And as you know, they pretty much bounced off that 40 cent level there. That's what I would have had a target at if they came all the way down. So that was still good. Kept it open for a while, but they never came back down there for the rest of the day. And at some point, one more thing. I put a level up here thinking there could be a little zone here. Wasn't really willing to take it because it's kind of against my rules to trade a level the second time if they already gave the trade earlier, in a manner of speaking. But that was the zone. So that level was good, but just really wasn't feeling it, and kind of regret not taking it. But you'll have days like this sometimes. Levels worked, just they didn't act normal the way I like them to act, and I did not enter any trades. So that's pretty much it for the live trades, or the would have been trades. Just another visual. The gray circles are where the trade would have been if they came into the level the correct way. So nothing doing there and nothing doing here. So if they were good trades, I'd have little green circles just to show you. So nothing other than that little mistake I made somewhere in this neighborhood and got 1.25 points, a point and a tick, which will not be recorded. Well, let me show you something new on the tracking log, actually. This is something new I've been working on. So essentially, I've been doing this new tracking log in parallel, where I have essentially pivot tables. I'm inputting all the information in kind of a tabular form and showing the information in a pivot table. So essentially, the data is exactly the same, but I can do a lot more slicing and dicing. So what you have here is this playing by the rules. I haven't created the like my trade, or the creative liberty one where I show my trades. This is every single thing in here going back for January of 2022 is all playing by the rules. So you have the numbers, they should look pretty familiar, and the profit percentage and loss. That's essentially the days ending in the green, profit, days ending below or ending in the red is loss. But here you can see, so this is like the entire time, but I could want to look at, say, just 2022. I could filter. So here's 2022. Let's just go back up to the top of wherever that's at. And that was all of 2022. So now you can see the profit and loss percentages change, the daily averages change, the totals change. Here's all of 2023. Here's 24 to date. So it's kind of cool. You can see this. What about the first quarter of 24? Let's go up and find it. There's first quarter, second quarter. The month of June was pretty good. I'm going to do this kind of fast, but I'll spend some more time on this later. But anyway, so here, just the month of June, you can see what it looks like. July, currently, we've got a couple more days. And here I'm going to show you something. I think it was, I'll clear the filters here. I think it was the year 2022 in November. So here you have a month where it ended below water. So this is a good example to show what this profit loss means. So during the month of November 2022, there were 10 days that the levels were hit. And of those 10 days, 60% were ended in the green, 20% ended in the red. But you see the daily average was still negative. So, of course, the entire month was negative. And just coincidentally, 23 of November of 2023 was actually a pretty good month, because not a single day ended in the red for that month. So over time is what's important to me. I like to look at bigger, macro, like quarterly, yearly, monthly is fine. But this is everything to date based on the playing by the rules log or approach. And that was today. No trades taken. And on when I do create the other log to track my own trades, which I have in the former log, but I'm going to move it over to this pivot table approach. I'll show you that 1.25 points. It came out to be $125 with my 2 contracts. So that's pretty much it today. Thanks for tuning in to this recap. If you found this video helpful, thanks for liking it and subscribing to the channel. I'll be back at it tomorrow. One more thing to mention about tomorrow and Wednesday. So tomorrow, Tuesday, the first of a 2-day meeting. On Wednesday, whatever it is, 2 p.m. Eastern, they're going to make a monetary decision, some type of policy, some type of announcement, and that's going to probably move the market. It happens to be the last day of the month. And I did mention, let's take a look at the monthly chart, because where it ends is going to be pretty important. And what I mean by where it ends, I mean where the monthly chart ends, where the candle of this monthly candle of July, which is right here, ends in this 545.63. That's where that 543, that's where the 545.65 number comes in. The magenta line we've been showing on the other chart, because if they close, that's where they opened the month of July. If they close right there or slightly below or so a little bit, that's going to produce a signal, and the time is correct from this move, from this larger move, for a rollover. I mean, they could go high. They could even test the high of this at some point, like next month or whatever. But that signal, preferably on high volume. We talked about this before. There was a reason they fell down here. There's probably going to be another reason they're going to fall down here if we get this big fat doji candle on Wednesday. We'll see what happens with the FOMC. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day.